July 8th, 1980. Fareed Kamal Dana Connie for the Black Middletown Project. When did you come to this city?
Oh, I've been here all my life.
Okay. And when were you born?
You don't want when I was born, dude. You're not going to put that on the air, are you?
Oh, you
You're not going to put that on the air, are you?
Well, we just want to...
I mean, in your book, you're not going to put that in your book, are you?
Well, we just want to get an idea, see how many people see...
Just tell them I'm an old lady.
Oh, we just want to get an idea of what are the age groups of the people interviewed, and when people were coming here, how long people have been here.
How long people been in Muncie? Oh, my.
So that's why we asked for dates.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people have been around here for a long time. Before my family came. My family came here about, 1908. 1980, I thought my family came to Muncie.
So, you can't tell me when you were born?
No, because you're gonna put it in your book, and I don't want it in your book.
No, no.
Whatever you're writing.
No, it won't be used like that. It will just be well, they'll just have information and like samples of how long people have been here. But specific people won't be like. I'm sure they won't be pointed out.
Gets it all mixed up.
You understand what I'm saying?
Huh?
It
doesn't matter. I was born in 1906.
Okay. All right. And that was in Muncie you were born?
No, I was born in Anderson, but we came here when I was about 2 years old.
Okay. All right. And so you were raised in Muncie, though?
Yes.
Okay. And now, how old were you when you left home?
When I left home?
When you were out on your own.
Well, I wouldn't say I ever left home because, I got married. We got married in 1926. And we all lived together, so I wouldn't say I ever left home because I've been here all my life.
Okay. Okay. So you've been in the same neighborhood in Muncie just about?
Yes, we lived
over in Whitney?
We lived down on Rusty Street.
Okay. Have you lived in any more houses besides Rusty?
No, I lived down there on Rusty Street where my family lived, and then we lived in this house here. And and we moved here when we moved our shop from down on South Walnut Street.
Okay. And was this house, did you build this house?
It's right here, yeah. We moved. We lived on Walnut Street. That's the main street of town. We had our shop down there for, about 40 years. And then the Chevrolet company, they bought that, all those old houses on the other side of the street. So they put their parking lot over there. So then we built out here. We already had these lots out here. So we just built this little building out here. And we started building in 66, and I think we moved in here in 67 and moved in the house in 68.
Okay.
So we've been in this territory, you know.
Okay.
Except when we had the shop downtown,
And was it hard having the business downtown establishing a shop?
No, it really wasn't, and that was probably right after the Depression or during the Depression. It really wasn't because we had a lot of business, as much as my husband could take care of, and we had several people working for us. We don't have anyone here, but it's my son. But we had several people working for us, fixing shoes, and we had. Down there, we had a shining partner. We had shining boys. Of course, out here, we don't have that because we don't have the room for it. But we had good business. We had the best people in town. And it really wasn't hard. I guess it was probably during, right after the Depression. But it really wasn't hard for us because I don't know, because my husband's well known, I suppose, and the business just come to us. So it was real nice down there. Of course, we didn't have the parking out in front, and that was the good part about coming out here, because we could have more parking space.
So more people could come.
But we've had more than my son can take care of. You know, because most all of our good customers, they just follow us out here.
Well, that's good.
We've just had it, real good.
So you still get a mixed group?
Yeah, we get mixed.
Okay. And
I say sometimes I think we have more white than we do colored. Colored people are kind of, I don't know, they're kind of hard to go to. Colored people sometimes. But they're coming. They're coming. We get a good many of them.
Are there many white shoe shops around town?
Yeah, there's, well, not as many as there used to be. There's, I'd say about 5 or 6, I guess.
Do you think that the blacks in this neighborhood would frequent their businesses more so than this one? Or
well, some people do. Some people. We get a good deal of colored. And then a lot of colored people, they go to the white because I guess they like them better, whichever. Doesn't matter. I don't know. But we've had a good business. And now my husband passed away 10 years ago, and my son has taken his place, and he's worked with him all his life. He started when he was a little boy, and he knew the business, and he's very, very good. And so that's why we just keep that good business.
Keep it in the family. And does your son have a family also? Or?
Yes, he has a family. He's on the fire department, and he has I think he has 2 or 3 more years to go. Then when he comes off there, well, then he'll be in the business altogether. He'll be here all the time.
So is that the remaining family here in Muncie?
That's all I have here. My son, his family, my daughter doesn't live here. She lives in Detroit.
How many children do you have?
Just 2.
Just 2. Okay. Do you have any sisters and brothers?
No, I had a brother. He's passed. And I had a half sister. She's passed. My mother and father's gone.
Okay. Now, do you know why your family came here to Muncie? And jump back to that.
Really? My father was a brick mason. And I think he come here to get work. And I don't know. I should know what he was doing. But he was a brick mason when he come from Anderson.
Was he one of the first black brick masons?
No, he just worked with other people on, buildings, different places.
So
no, I don't think he was.
Was there a lot of work for brick masons back then?
Well, I really don't know, because he got a job at the wire mill. He worked as what was it? Wire drawer, I think they called him. He got a job at the wire mill. He stayed there all the rest of his life until he retired.
So So he found the work that he came looking for?
Well, no, not the same thing, because he didn't do the same thing out there at the wire mill. He just, they called them wire drawers. I believe that's what they called them. No, he didn't find the same work.
But he found some type of work, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he worked all during the Depression. Now, the Depression, they was living, my mother and father both. But we got along good. I really didn't know that, I thought about a depression. I think sometimes it's the way the family manages. Because we had chickens and we had a garden and stuff like that. We didn't know too much about depression. I think some people know how to manage their money better, something like that comes along.
Okay. Now, did you know anybody else here in Muncie? When you came, did your family know anybody else here?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You mean other friends?
Or friends and family?
Oh, yes.
When you came?
Well, we didn't have much family here, but we had a lot of friends here.
Okay.
But I can't think of anyone that was in any business.
Now, what kind of jobs, were there other kind of jobs available for people? I hear that there was like majority for men, there were factory and foundry jobs, and then for the women, housework. But was there opportunity for anything else?
That's all I know of. It's just a Malibu, the wire mill. And the women, I guess, they worked in, worked for people. But my mother never did work because my father never did want her to work, and she just never had to work. She took care of the house.
How did you feel? How did you feel about that type of work that they had?
Working for other people.
Or just factory jobs.
Well, that's about all they could do, I guess. Well, some people worked. Well, in those days, a lot of people had chauffeur jobs working for rich people. They had chauffeur jobs and maybe garden work. Work around the houses and taking care of their their yards and house and stuff like that. And the people worked in the factories. And then I think there was some barbers here, colored barbers.
Do you remember any of them by name?
Well, let's see.
Any of the early barbers?
I can't think of. No, I can't think of their names. I can't think of their names now.
Okay.
No, we had some doctors. And Dr. McMorrison. McMorrison, he was here long years ago, and I think he's dead now. And there was another doctor, let's see, what was his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name.
Okay. But do you think your husband was satisfied with the conditions? Because it would seem like he wasn't, because he started his business, and that seemed like it would have been a...
Well, you see, he worked in a repair shop before he come to Muncie. He's from Knoxville, Tennessee, and he worked in a big shop down there. And he worked up till he was the head man in this white man's shop, And of course, he knew the business when he come here, so that's what he always wanted to do. So that's what he did. So he started the shop.
He wasn't going to be, but I'm sure he wouldn't have been satisfied with just a factory job.
Oh no, he never worked in the factory.
Yeah, but
no.
Now was it but it wasn't. Was it a lot of opportunity for black people who might have wanted to start a business?
Well, I guess you have to do things on your own. Just get out there and do it. But I don't know. Besides restaurants and the doctors here and lawyers, I don't know what other kind of business colored people was in. I can't think of anything.
Did he know anybody to get the building or loan or mortgage and stuff like that?
No, he
just went down and applied?
I just saw that the building was empty and went to the bank and we rented it. We rented. We didn't own the building. We rented it.
Okay.
That's something where we made a mistake. We should have bought it. I wasn't thinking right.
But you own this one now.
Yeah, we own all this. Yeah.
What do you think was the biggest mistake because of your renting?
Renting?
What did it set you back a lot or something?
No, the rent was cheap. I mean, compared to what it is now, the rent was cheap, and we could have bought it if we just thought ahead. We could have bought it and paid for it before time for us to move out. But we just weren't thinking.
Did you have to get a loan from the bank?
Yeah, we got a loan from the bank. No, we didn't have to get a loan because, see, we just rented it.
Oh,
It's rent.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But it was in the hands of the bank, and then after that, some other people bought it. We could have bought it, but just wasn't thinking right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to
So you could have
get those
bought
things.
it.
Yeah, we could have bought it because I think we could have bought it for, you know, just the rent would have went in on the payment.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Do you remember any big problems when you got to the city that you faced, you and your
Any
family?
what?
Any big problems, a real big problem, an incident that you and your family faced when you first got to the city, or even you and your husband over the years?
Yeah.
And maybe back in the 20s or something like that.
No.
Personal lives or business?
I can't think of anything.
Well, were there any, if you did have any problems or anything, were there any black businessmen unions or anything like that?
Would they do what?
Were there any black businessmen unions where black businessmen could come together as a group?
Come to your aid if you had any problems?
Right. Did they have any type of unions like that for the businessmen or for the black businessmen?
No, not long then. They didn't have these things like the community development and all that. You know, you know, they didn't have that then.
But did any of the black businessmen ever come together?
Well, I don't know who the black businessmen were. Really.
Okay. Yeah. How did the black people in Whiteley in the industry feel about another black man having a shoe shop in the whites in the area, in the downtown area where a lot of white people shop?
We didn't have any trouble at all. I guess it was all right. I guess we didn't have any trouble. And down there, we had mostly all white trade. So, but we didn't have any trouble. I mean, you know, everything went along smoothly.
There were no people try to say that you were uppity or anything like that?
No. No.
How about, now you said the depression, you lived through it okay, it wasn't any big problems. Because able to manage and everything.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing.
Yeah. How about like entertainment and things of that sort? How did you and your family entertain yourself?
Oh, well, we belonged to clubs. You know, my husband belonged to a club, an old club that's been organized for years and years, and I belonged to one that's been, you know, organized for years. And once a year, his club would have a dance, and my club would too. And maybe in the summer they'd have picnics and things like that. And then you entertain your friends, you know.
What clubs were they?
Well, the Bachelor Benedict Club was the one he belonged to, and I belonged to the Entreneuse Club.
Entreneuse? And he was
a Bachelor Benedict.
Okay, Bachelor Benedict. And do you know when they were established?
Let's see, they established before he came to Muncie, because he joined after he came to Muncie, so it must have been. And he came here, he came here in 1925 or 24, I don't know which, and they was organized then, and so was my club. Well, I don't know just what the year.
Okay. And are they still in existence now? Do you have any like material from back then, or any pictures, photographs of those clubs?
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of pictures, you know, of entertainments, things we did, yeah.
That'd be
But of course, the Entreneuse, they're kind of dying down now because a lot of the members are dead, you know. Don't have too many left, and we haven't had a meeting now for a long time, so.
That'd be interesting to see some stuff.
Yeah, we had some pictures. And then we'd go out, we had friends out of town, you go out of town to parties and dances and stuff like that, you know. Keep busy.
Well, that's good. Now, how would you describe the relationships among blacks and whites in Muncie? as far as getting along?
With us and our business, we get along fine. But as far as these young people that's coming on, and I don't know. Some of them just try to start trouble. But and at our age and our friends, we don't have any trouble.
Do you have any problems with like burglaries and everything?
Well, I just had one last week.
Oh, yeah?
wasn't really a burglary. There's 3 boys came in. Two of them had their shoes repaired. 2 boys had. These were colored boys. They had their shoes repaired, and they paid for their shoes. And one of the pairs was back here, and I had to come back here and get them. And while I was back here, another boy that was with him stole the shoes, but I didn't know it until they were going out. Now, the lady across the street, now they watch over here, they watch, see if everything's all right. She was coming out of the house, and she said that the boys threw a pair of shoes out in the street, and she thought it looked funny. He threw them out in the street, and then another boy picked them up and threw them over in the back of the car. So she came in while the boys was here, and she asked me if I had missed any shoes, and I said, no, I haven't, but I'll look around here and see. And so when she went out, there was a ticket laying on the steps. And so that was this man's ticket that belonged in these shoes. And so then I knew just who they belonged to, because I had tried to call the people and tell them their shoes were ready.
So they stole somebody's
shoes?
So
they stole those shoes. So, see, I knew who they were. I had the names and addresses. Didn't know which one it was, but I had 2 of their names and addresses. So I called the police, and I called my son. The police went after him, and then my son rode around over on Brady Street, over there in apartments. That's kind of a tough place where a lot of young people live. And so they knew the police was after him. So way after a while, another young man brought a pair of shoes in. He said, now, this boy told me to bring these shoes. I don't know what for. He just said, bring them around here and leave them. So I said, okay. So while he was in here, 2 policemen come in. And so then he went on out. And another young man come in. And he was pleading with me to not prosecute him or anything. He said, that we'll get your shoes. We'll get your shoes back. So we got them back.
So
that's about the worst incident.
Did you press charges?
No, I just gave him a good talking to.
Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Now, how about in the past? Did anything like that ever happen downtown?
Oh, yeah, we've had people steal shoes. We had people. My husband had a young man come in, got a pair of shoes, and then he left his shoes up on the shelf. And he went over to Bob's Tavern. Now, you know where that is?
Where is that?
It's around on 2nd Street, right off Walnut. I think 2nd Street.
Is that a black man's store?
Yeah, he's had a tavern there for years. It's not a tavern, it's a bar, I guess.
Is he still living?
Yeah. He's been there for years and years.
What is his name?
Bob, it's Bob's Tavern. His name is Bob, I can't think of his name.
That's an industry?
It's over off of Walnut, downtown. Off of Walnut. See our shop.
It's a black man downtown.
Yeah, well, it's right, 2nd Street, right off of Walnut. See, our shop was on Walnut, and this Bob's Tavern is about 2 blocks down. It's right off of Walnut. So, anyway, this man had these shoes on, so my husband went over there, and he saw this man with his shoes on. Said he had his leg all crossed up. He was showing his shoes because they was pretty shoes. He made him take them off.
Was this a white man or black man?
No, he's black. He's black.
And that was when you were downtown?
Yeah, that's been years and years ago. Oh, we've had things stolen. We've had that place down there on Wall Street broken into.
What about whites coming in that been jealous or really didn't want to see you in business? Really?
Well, they don't come out and say it.
But can you ever feel it?
Yeah, some of them, if they're kind of, hippie, what you call them. We've never had any trouble with them. I guess they knew my husband meant business. He didn't put up with any foolishness.
No stuff.
No, he didn't have any foolishness. If anybody, we had a sign up. We just took it down. We had it over here, the same one over here. No swearing ladies in the house. Mm-hmm. And if they get to swearing, he'd get after them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'd throw the man out for swearing. Don't you see that sign over there? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they just keep right on swearing, and out they go. Mm. But those people, they'd always come right. They respected him. They'd always come back.
Because they knew he was going to.
They knew he meant business.
Mm-hmm. You think that was one of the keys to his success?
Yeah, standing up for your business and don't let nobody run over you. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did.
Mm-hmm. Were there ever any threats that you all would go out of business?
No.
Always did.
No.
I guess there was a definite need then for a good shoe repair
I
shop.
Guess. There was another one. There was one right down the street in a block from there. Mm-hmm. And then there's one right up on Mulberry Street. But then I guess there was enough business for everybody then. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, you were talking about pictures and photographs and things. Oh, I was asking about that. Do you?
Oh, it's just pictures of when we went to the dances. Mm-hmm. Pictures of taking pictures of the club. Yeah, that's all it is.
How about family pictures and things like that?
Oh, we have a lot of family pictures.
Because that would be interesting to see, and if we could make pictures of your pictures or copies of those, and because I have a camera, or we could give you money to make copies of these things, because this kind of stuff would be interesting to share with the project, because not too many people still have old photographs. Yeah. A lot of people throw them away. Yeah. So it'd be really valuable for them.
Well, we used to take a lot of pictures. We don't take too many anymore. Mm-hmm. My husband took a lot of pictures.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have a picture of the old shop?
Mm-hmm. 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 It was down on South Walnut. Yeah, we had it. Mm-hmm. Okay. They had my husband's picture in the Expo over at Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. As being the first colored councilman.
Oh yeah, can you talk about that?
Well, not much to talk about. I don't know. Well, I can't give you the date because I can't remember
But it was in the early years, wasn't it?
Well, it was after we was at the shop. We had the shop downtown. Mm-hmm. It was about in 44, probably.
And he was the first black councilman. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did he face many problems?
Oh yes, they had a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm. So it was the vote that he needed from around here to get in?
Yeah, I guess so. No, it's voted. Mm-hmm. It's voted.
So the black people came out and supported him, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black and white.
Oh, that was good.
Mm-hmm. You have to have both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was good. Now, let me see here. Do you remember anything that stands out that the black people have done as a group over the years? Anything that really stands out that at a time that black people come together in this city? Maybe it was a time back when your husband was in the city council.
I don't know.
Was there ever any need or anything? Can you remember anything like the Klan doing things?